Without a doubt, there are two dominant word processor software applications millions of people use for writing and drafting an essay or paper in the educational and professional setting: Google Docs and Microsoft Word. Google Docs is popular and dominant in many K-12 settings today, and it's making a lot of headway in the college and university arena. But the weakness of Google Doc is Microsoft Word's strength. Microsoft Word has more advanced, powerful tools and features that can help you as a writer, something unrivaled by Google Docs. Today, I want to talk to you about how, why, and the ways I use Microsoft Word. Here are the 6 tabs that I like a lot when using Microsoft Word as a proposal writer, as a composition tutor, as a composition instructor, a graphic designer, and a technical writer. The first is the Home tab. The second is the Insert tab. The third is the Design tab. The fourth, the Layout tab. The fifth, the References tab. And the sixth, the Review tab. Now let's go into Word document to examine these tabs. We'll start with the Home tab. The Home tab is the default tab in Word documents. Under the Home tab are the tools that I most likely use when using Word. We have the Font tool. The font helps me to change the size of the text and perform other functions that you see here. We have the Paragraph tool. The Paragraph tool helps me to double space my text, dealing with spacing issues and indentation, and perform other functions as you see on this page. We have the Styles tool. Styles enables me to customize my headings, my titles, and my text, and perform other functions as you see here. Next, we have the Editor tool. The Editor tool helps me to check and correct spelling mistakes and typos, grammar, and other word writing suggestions offered by Microsoft Word. It is one of my favorite tabs or tools in Word, which I cannot do without. Also, the tool helps me a lot with copy editing. It does a great job providing me editing suggestions according to the refinements here. So I don't really have a need for a real editor in person to help me read through my writing. The next tab we're going to look at is the Insert tab. The Insert tab, right next to the Home tab, you have the Insert tab. As the name implies, it lets me insert more features on my Word documents. The Insert tab comes in handy when I have to insert pictures. I could do this from my device, from stock images, or from online pictures. Here are the tools I use when accessing the Insert tab. These are Smart Art, Smart Art. We also have the comments. So when I comment, my name will show. We also have charts. We also have tables. I could insert tables according to rows, according to the number that I preferred on my table, rows and sections. We also have the header information, and we also have footer, and then we have page numbers. All are under the Insert tab. One tool that I really like to use is the Smart Art. Smart Art enables me to insert visually impressive, customized designs and graphics into a Word document. I like using relationship, Smart Art, Venn diagrams, one of my favorites, or a cycle. Next, the Design tab. After the Draw tab is the Design tab. This tab allows me to adjust the structure, organization, and appearance of the Word document. Using this tool, the specific features which interest me the most are the three group icons above page background. You have watermark. Watermark lets me add ghost text behind the documents I have created, such as the word confidential, do not copy, or draft, or sample. I use ghost text, the word draft, when I share draft documents via email with colleagues at work as a proposal writer. What about pictures? I use picture watermarks. This will be custom watermarks. When I'm designing a card or a letter on a Word document and I want to customize it, particularly for my audience. And next we have page color. Page color lets me add color to the page background of my document in Word. And we have page borders. Page borders also gives me my document a distinctive look by letting me add changes to the border around the page of my document, and to perform other cool things as well. The next tab we're going to look at is the Layout tab. It's right next to the Design tab. This tab helps me to change the page size. So I usually do 8.5 by 11. That's my standard. I don't change my document when I'm writing because I have no reason to use legal executive. I rarely do. So it's usually 8 by 5, 8.5 by 11. As for orientation of my Word document, I typically use the portrait mode, portrait orientation, when I'm writing essays, letters, or just about any type of document I create. What about landscape? Well, I use landscape orientation when I'm working on a document which requires lots of rows and columns and a table I've inserted in the document. I rarely use landscape, only once in a while. The next tab I want to explore is the Reference tab. References tab is one of my favorites. The References tab is right next to the Layout tab. The References tab offers me tools which allows me to create a table of contents. I also can create an index or insert index into my document. I have the choice of inserting table of authorities into my documents. I could also insert footnotes into my documents. Endnotes as well. I could insert citations into my document. And if my paper requires a specific format for citation, I could switch between APA, Chicago, or MLA, or Turabian 6th edition. You've got several options here. And this can be found under citations and bibliography. And there's much more you can do, such as use the search icon in the researcher. The references tab is something that I use a lot when I'm working on a research paper, when I'm finalizing a research paper or a professional document, to create tables of contents. The next tab, or the last tab, is the Review tab. It's right next to the Mailings tab. It's one tab that I rely on a lot when I comment on students' documents. To do this, I have to enable track changes on their documents, individual documents. The comments tool lets me perform other functions as well. Here as well, insert new comments just by clicking on the icon, insert a comment, and then I'm able to track my comments on the student's document. You would see, especially when I have track changes on. So if the student has written an essay and I make changes, you immediately see what that looks like. You notice the group icons under the comments tab. So if, let's say, I'm typing and I'm commenting on something and I have track changes on, then you will see this come up. So I could choose to delete, or I could choose to disengage the track changes. When I comment on documents, I always leave margin comments and then marginal comments, and then leave terminal comments on students' papers. Under the Review tabs, you have other icons. You have the editor icon and tool, spelling and grammar. You've got word count, and you're able to check accessibility of your document. This is very useful to keep it inclusive. Your reader, to make sure that your document that you send out is inclusive to all readers. Then you have other functions such as translate. This is a cool feature. And you have the speech icon, which I want to show you here, right here, so it can read aloud to you. It's one way of proofreading your work. And you have a bunch of other icons and tools you can use. So if, say, you are a student and your instructor gave you comments, or as a professional, if I solicited feedback and I could choose to accept the feedback or reject it, and that will appear on my documents. This concludes my tutorial on why, how, and I use Microsoft Word. Thank you for watching.